guys, Donald Jason here. So, hi everyone, it's been a wee while since I've been on here talking about music, and I think it's not been on 6 months or something since I've been on here showing what I've been listening to and stuff. I just get out of the habit of making videos, I suppose. But I've been listening to a load of music as usual, and I had them all in different piles that I wanted to make the show on videos. So I thought I'd come on today and say hello and show some stuff. I hope you're all keeping really good out there. Probably a lot of people won't see this video. I know a lot of people jumped off the sinking ship because I haven't been doing anything, but it's the way it goes. Why would you hang around? Anyway, today I want to talk about some bands that are inspired by Motorhead. So I was on a bit of a Motorhead kick a couple of months back, and that was inspired by a couple of records I picked up. One was a reissue from the 80s, hold on. And another one is a newer band. They've been going a few years, but they're new to me, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to show those in a minute. But it put me on a Motorhead kick. I've been blasting a lot of classic line-up Motorhead stuff, you know, Filthy, Fast Eddie, Lemmy, and like some of the stuff came out in the 80s as well, later on in the 80s, because that's what I go to when I listen to Motorhead. Honestly, that's the truth. I mean, I like some of the other stuff. They always put out solid records, but the sound of the records doesn't really appeal to me that much. I find the music a bit tiring to listen to sometimes. But yeah, 1977, and they put out this banger, right? What cracking record. What they've done on this, they would develop over the next few records, wouldn't they, into something really powerful. This contains one of my favourite rock and roll songs of all time, which is the song Motorhead. Obviously carried over from Lemmy's time in Hawkwind. This cover too, I mean, look at that fucking thing, right? As you can tell, I bought this when I was younger. This is the first copy I ever had of it. And when I was younger, I didn't keep my records in protective sleeves, as you can see, right? But in this cover, look at it. We're used to it, and you become so sort of blasé about it, but it's got what an iconic cover and image. It just looks so strong and mean and amazing looking. It's got all that outlaw biker cool with the curved Motorhead logo that looks like a rocker patch on the back of a motorcycle gang jacket. This one still has a Swazi on it. This is the I think this came out in 1980 or something like that. This one, it's the red vinyl record on Big Beat Records. The swastika was taken off on later reissues, but brilliant album. This is where it all starts, right? I do like what they recorded before this, that it came out as On Parole when Motorhead had that success, and I think it's an underrated record in its own right. But yes, you get Motorhead on it, and obviously Iron Horse, Born to Lose, Keep Us on the Road's a great track, and say 1977. It's the year I was born. The world was about to go Star Wars. Punk had exploded in the UK. The Pistols, The Damned, The Clash all had albums out that year. Some of the more well-established hard rock acts at the time, like DC and Thin Lizzy, Rush had an album out that year as well. And Motorhead were able to straddle both. And then when the punk thing died down in '79, the press started writing about the underground hard rock bands, calling it the new everybody's heavy metal, and they were able to write that too. They were loved from across the board on the music scene, but they've released some albums that mean a lot to me, and I think there's a documentary coming out soon about Fast Eddie Clarke, which if you ever need to pick me up and cheer me up, watch some of his interviews. I do all the time. He's one funny motherfucker, like funny bastard. Yeah, so I hear that's coming out soon, so I would like to see it. But yeah, Motorhead. Say 1977. Speedy King produced that, and he also produced this that came out in '77. So Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers. This is the 1994 version of the record, the Lost Mixes. My friend bought this when it came out in '94, and he turned me on to it. I fucking love the album, still do. It's got loads of classics on it, hasn't it? And yeah, so the Heartbreakers were in the UK spreading their junkie business around that time too. And yeah, vibrant time for music. in '77. So this is one of the records I picked up that put me on the Motorhead kick. Fingernails. This originally came out in '88. Italian band. Definitely has a Motorhead rattle to it. Real snotty, sneering speed metal. The song Heavy Metal Forces on this is fucking great. Crazy for blowjobs. Kill the Rich is really good. Total Destruction. So I was glad when this Nuclear War Productions put this out, so I was glad to see this. I got this really cheap, and I've always wanted the original of it, but I don't like the record that much to pay what sometimes an OG can go for. But so I'm really glad to have it. Fingernails from 1988 originally. Italian rough as fuck speed metal. This is the other band, Warhawk with Dam Buster, and this blew me away. This is great. So I'd never heard this band before. Picked this up, and this is their newer album. This came out, whether it came out last year or this year, I can't remember. Filth rock and roll. So like if you like Tank, Motorhead, and 70s heavy rock and early 80s metal, I don't see why you wouldn't get a kick out of this. Get great sort of punky vocals too. Get that Motorhead drive to it, obviously. Scarlet Rock and Roll Machine's fucking superb. Born Raid's amazing. The song Dam Buster's superb. They do a song here, Dags Attra, which is in their, I think are they Swedish maybe? Yeah, that's only once not sung in English. Hawk of War. Great album. Tasty musicians, and say brilliant punky vocals. I like this so much I went out and bought this. This came out before. This is Pray for War. I'm not as familiar as I am with this record, but it's very good. But this one here is lethal. So any fans of them, I would definitely think of another album that came out. I'm definitely going to pick it up at some point, but I've been really enjoying this. And if you like, as I say, Motorhead and Tank and early 80s metal, 70s hard rock, superb. Guitar player's tasty on it. Here's a Swedish band, Paranoid, Heavy Mental Fuck Up. So this has that sort of hardcore punk D-beat sound. A little bit of Celtic Frost, I suppose. Just in the spirit of it, the attitude of it. And a nod to early Metallica, especially on the second side. Here's a song on the second side. All the songs are in like this Japanese font, so I don't know what the songs are called. But there's a song on the second side that there's a massive whiff of Phantom Lord by Metallica on it. But it's good, it's fun. If I've seen the other albums, I would pick them up. Gets a wee bit flabby towards the middle side of the second side, the middle half of it. But then it picks up. The last song's a good driving song, so it picks up. But I think what I've heard of their newer album is even they dolloped a lot more 80s metal on top of the sort of black and hardcore punk D-beat sound. It's good. Exciter, Violence and Force. This was the first Exciter record I ever picked up, and yeah, I've always enjoyed the band. They've never been one of my top favourites or anything, but yeah, I bought this and then I bought Unveil in the Wicked, and then I found a copy of their first album, which is amazing. But this has bangers on it, like Violence and Force, the title track, superb. Screaming in the Night's really good, isn't it? Pound of Metal goes on a bit, and it's got that real dumb heavy metal sound, but it's fun. Evil Sinner, I really like Delivering to the Master on this. It has that Sabbathy sort of sound. But yeah, so that it has a Motorhead drive to it, you know. And yeah, enjoyed hearing it again. Hadn't listened to it in a while. So yeah, Exciter, Violence and Force. Here's a really good one, Chapel, and Satan's Rock and Roll. So this came out in Invictus Records from here in Ireland, and when this came out there was a real good buzz about it. And I like a lot of these bands that are doing that early black and speed metal sort of sound. But a lot of them don't deliver on the songs. They might get the sound right and the vibe right, but they just don't deliver on the songs. I can't say that with this one. This one fucking rocks. Rock and Roll from Hell, amazing opener. Nocturnal Blasphemy, Satan's Rock and Roll. It sounds like they're trying to rewrite black metal by Venom. It turns out brilliantly. Hell Breaks Loose. Alcoholocaust is amazing. It's got stuff like Satanist on it, MOTORCULT, Trashed and Hellraiser's. Definitely one for late night drinking in the graveyard with your mates. Brilliant devil rock record. Well, black metal is what it is, but I know that a lot of the black metal guys are very sensitive about what is and what isn't black metal. It's black metal to me. Dwarves, How to Win Friends and Influence People. First Dwarves record I ever heard. I was listening to this the other day and I threw this into this pile because there's a couple of songs on this that I can imagine Motorhead tackling and doing a really good job of it. But as far as I remember, most of this is older songs, re-records of older songs. And superb. I actually bought this in CD when it first came out, and I liked it so much I really needed it on vinyl, as happens to me. Dominator's on this, Way Out. Anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? An amazing track. That's fuck's brilliant, isn't it? I have to be careful when I play this though, because my son picks up songs really quickly now, and I don't want him running about the school playground singing the lyrics to that fucking song, right? Yeah, Satan's on this, Speed Demon, brilliant punk band. I have a few more of their albums, and this just delivers in the high energy and just real fun time. Brilliant. Dwarves, How to Win Friends and Influence People, superb record. Big Dylan sent me this one. Dylan HM2 Paul. Hi Dylan, if you see this, man, I hope you're keeping well, big one. So thank you very much for sending this, mate. So I really like Knuckle Duster by Assenville. The album came out before this, and then the singer died, obviously. One of his relatives is singing now, and well, this is signed by the band too, Dylan. Thank you, mate. And honestly, as I say, I like Knuckle Duster, but when this came out, I seen the video for World Shaker and I checked it out, and I was put off by how much the guy was doing the Lemmy thing. I was sort of hearing it with my eyes, you know, but I got over it, and I really enjoyed listening to this. Like a lot, this came out in heavy sex sounds, and like a lot of their stuff, I don't know, the sound seems to be rounded off, not a lot of raw dirt left in the sounds. I don't know if it's anything to do with the label, and just, or I don't know, maybe they just like bands that sound that way. But I found that with some of the music coming out on their label. But this has some cracking motor bangers on it, real solid rock record. The Laws of Law is really fun. Running the Gauntlet, Payback's a Bitch. What's it? It's a Railroad I really like off the second side. Really good. I've only listened to it about 3 or 4 times, so still taking it in. But yeah, really enjoyed it. My mate went to see them in London. I think they supported the Wild Hearts, and he said they were brilliant and really loud. So they're playing here in Belfast soon, and I want to go and see them. Also, my friend, one of my friend's band went on a wee tour there in the UK with them at one point. Said they were really good. So yeah, I don't think it's as good as Knuckle Duster, but I really enjoy it. Here's a newer one, Bloodsport. Well, yes, probably a few years ago now. Hot Blood and Cold Steel. When this came out, I've seen a lot of people in the VC showing it. Maybe people like Andy, the Metal Mogul or something. Probably he showed this. Maybe Marty Mac. Can't remember, but I seen a few people show it, so I went and picked it up, and fucking really good. I was saying to Marty Mac that channel, I was saying to him that a lot of the sort of modern metal bands they're really influenced by the traditional 80s stuff. A lot of the bands that I like are female fronted for some reason. This is another one. Definitely has a Motorhead rattle through it. Brilliant guitar playing, just cracking songs. Yeah, Bloodsport, Hot Blood and Cold Steel. When did this actually come out? A few years back now, but really good. The cover doesn't really tell you much, say much, doesn't really draw me in, but the fucking music on this thing is lit up. It's really good. Not as good as this one though. Knife for an Eye, Domination Rock and Roll. So I think this is the drummer from Anti-Synax. It's on the Synax Records label. This came out a few years back as well. 2020 this came out. And my god, this is a blistering heavy punk rock sound that I really adore. If you haven't heard this, check out One Step Forward, Two Stabs in the Back. if you don't like that song, you'll not like this record. Fucking Energy Bunny record, superb record, and you gotta love Chuck Berry in the front there with that, the leg spread, the guitar, like a rock and roll erection, superb stuff. Brilliant little record. Here's one from the UK, Segregates with Burston. I picked this up in a local shop, and yeah, obviously Motorhead. Well, this has to be Motorhead worship of some sort. It has Riding with the Driver on the back of it, a cover of it, the Motorhead song, sorry. And the album's called Burston, which I take as a tribute to Wurzel. But brilliant motor punk from the UK. I would definitely pick up more of their stuff. I just haven't got round to it yet. But if you haven't heard this, check out Trailer Collaborator off this. Superb. No Regrets and Turn It Loose is really good too. Yeah, brilliant motor punk from the UK. Segregates with Burston, fucking superb. Here's another Motorhead worship record, Overdose. 2 Wheels and Gone. So I think this band came out in Splattered Records. I think this band features some members from Speedwolf who put out some brilliant motor banging tunes. But yeah, Chasing the Dark. This has got a groove. They do that Motorhead groove really good on this. Yeah, rock and roll from New York City. Support your local Overdose. This is a great record. Really good fun. Maybe not essential for people, because it is that Motorhead worship, but they do it so well that it's just really enjoyable. And I say they grind and groove. Like when Motorhead slow stuff down, they do that really well in a couple of songs like Chasing the Dark, Running Down a Wire, Outside the Law, really good. Class record. Here's one from the 90s. That I think what was happening in the 90s, this band was seen as a little bit more of a novelty back then. Gehennah, Decibel Rebel. Of course now there's a load of bands popping up every 2 seconds that are releasing demos and Bandcamp and stuff that are doing this rattly old speed metal sound. Gehennah done it brilliantly. But as I say, I think a lot of people viewed them as a little bit of a novelty back then. Because, well, when you think about the state of the music scene back in the 90s, there was just so much shit going on, bands twisting and turning to find directions and shit. But yeah, it opens up with Beat That Poser Down. It's definitely one to brush your teeth to in the morning. Hellhole Bar, I love it. It's a cracking tune. Decibel Rebel itself is brilliant. Hungover's really good. I Fucked Your Mom. We Love Alcohol. That sort of thing. Trashy throwback sound. That a lot of people are doing now, as I say, but this sounds better than most of them. Gehennah also remind me of that band Rise and Shine. They done a split with Rise and Shine in the 90s, which I'm near sure I still have. My friend was writing to Rise and Shine back then, and he turned me on to them. They sent him the singles and stuff they were putting out. They had a more of a 70s heavy rock sound with a female vocalist, but it always reminds me of that band Rise and Shine. But yeah, this is a super fun record. Decibel Rebel by Gehennah. Here's an old beaut from the early 80s. Acid. I've talked about how much I love Acid before on here. I love everything about this record. I think this is their debut. I love the sound of it. I love the vibe of it. I love the vocals. The band are on fire. The great charm to all the songs. It's just an amazing slice of heavy metal from that time. Supported Motorhead when Motorhead went over. Belgium they're from, aren't they? But I mean, Acid, Ghost Riders, Hell on Wheels, Heaven's Devils, brilliant. Cooked on Metal, a cracker that I love. This came out with a really good reissue as well, that you get a 7-inch with. White Spade. So basically this is Midnight, isn't it? Without the devil rock and going for more of a vintage Motorhead sound. And it's alright, as a tribute to Motorhead, it's quite fun. But looking at the tracks here in the back of it, none of them seem to stand out to me. I couldn't tell you what one of them sounds like, apart from it sounds like Motorhead. I've only listened to this a few times, so it's cheap. I thought I'd give it a rattle. But as a fun little tribute to Motorhead. It's not bad. Whitespade, funny name, lads. But yeah. Hold on, turn this record over. Alright. Broken Bones, Fuck Off and Die. Studio side and live side. Some of this is blistering, isn't it? Yeah, it opens up with Fuck Off and Die. Teenage Kamikaze is amazing. I love Program Control, brilliant as well. The live side is serious, high energy, brilliance. Obviously got that Discharge Connection, who started in 1977, actually, when that first Motorhead album came out. Sitting on the Outside, Looking In, SOTO is an amazing track. Bit moodier, but superb record. Broken Bones, Fuck Off and Die. Here's one that was a big chunk to Motorhead, Shockwaves by Killer. I should have lifted out there was a little EP came out with Crossfire, Killer on it, and who was the other band? Can't remember. It's called Loud and Proud or something. It's the first time I ever heard Killer. Who else was the other band on? Ostrogoth were on it. But yeah, what a cracking, crunchy, dirty sound on this LP. I love the song in this, In the Name of the Law. Although when the vocals kick into it, I always want to start singing Kill a King by Rainbow. But a brilliant, heavy, crunchy sound and a superb record. Shockwaves by Killer. Brilliant here. Here's another Motorhead rocker. I think I showed this one before. Speedway by Warhead. Playing this again, and this is great rough charm to it. Attack of the Shark is really good on this. Speedway, the opening track. Kill the Witch, Devil's Child, has that Motorhead energy to some of the tracks on it. Really good, rough around the edges speed metal from the 80s. When did this come out, 84 or something? I think this is 84. Beowulf, Lost My Head, but I'm back on the right track. I neglect this record. I've had this in my collection since the mid-90s, and every time I play it, I'm so impressed by the musicianship on it, and the bounce and the groove of the band, the way they play together, it's amazing. Brilliant guitars and drums on it. When I first picked this up, my references for it would have been Suicidal Tendencies and Motorhead. But for some reason, I never think about this record. It's only when I'm flicking through LPs and I see it and go, fuck, I haven't listened to that in a way. Yeah, but Blasting It Again, superb record. Lost My Head, but I'm back on the right track. Brilliant punk, metal, great riffs. Here's Volcane, or the French was probably Volcan. Rock and Roll Secours. So a lot of people talk about them as if they're the French Motorhead. It definitely has a Motorhead rock on some of the tracks, but and the vocalist definitely has a bad dose of the Lemmys, like. But it's really solid 80s metal. When does this come out? 84? Yeah, 84. But this came out in Delva Records. Really solid heavy metal record. Nothing too spectacular really, but a couple of absolutely on fire belter songs on it. Snow White, that Motorhead looking logo. Kick 'em When They're Down. This is really good. Probably a bit murkier sounding than some of their other records, and I don't reach to this one as much as I was released for All Hail to Thee or Act of God or something. But many songs on this, 3, 4, 5 songs on this. Live for the Weekend, Too Late, brilliant. Run Like a Wind, Turn Up the Pain. But Ian Tuafoya, the guitar player, still an underrated guitar player and songwriter. Very, very, very talented. I just love what he does, and I love the vocals in Snow White. Superb vocalist. But yeah, Snow White, Kick 'em When They're Down. Here's a weird one. Miss Daisy, Pizza Connection. So, I had this on a wee while back, and this is a weird record. It's definitely got a little bit of cock rock cheesiness to it. Reminds me of like a mix of Love Hate, The Almighty maybe. Some of the melodies remind me of Cheap Trick. Wee bit of Honey Rock's swagger to it, only it's rougher and heavier, and not as good as any of those bands either. But this was produced by Eddie Clark, and Will Reed Dick. So you've got that Motorhead connection there, and definitely some of these tracks have a Motorheady vibe, probably more of the late 80s Motorhead. Wishy Washy Man, this came out in 89 or something, I think, GWR Records. Yeah, but Wishy Washy Man, 1,000 Miles is a really good song. Dr. Shrink, Pizza Connection. There's a song in here called Skywalker, which is a good blast of a song, but the chorus always reminds me of this band here. Mad Dog, the Welsh band. This came out in 86 on Stud Records. This has a, if you can imagine Tank or Motorhead with a janglier guitar sound or something. I suppose it has a wee bit of DC, that sort of pub rock, boogie, DC, Rose Tattoo. I mean, nowhere near as good as those bands either, but it grows on me over the years, this record. Johnny Cyclops is a superb song. The opening song, Fallen's brilliant. Fortune Favours the Brave, Shanghai Joe, The Last Great Wilderness, stuff like that. It's a fucking really good record that has grown on me. If you like that sort of, like janglier Tank, Motorhead sort of thing. Say not as good, but very enjoyable to me. Here's one nobody ever talks about. Kill 'Em All by Metallica. It's still, the energy in this will never tire to me. Still my favourite Metallica record. And well, this contains Motor Breath, which is one of my favourite Metallica songs. So yeah, Metallica, Kill 'Em All. There's not much else to say about this, is there? Everywhere when I was growing up, Jump the Fire and like Seek and Destroy and stuff like that. People were just trying to learn those songs on the guitar and everything. They were so massive before they became completely massive, weren't they? But yeah, still love Kill 'Em All. Great energy in this record that won't die, and it's superb. But as I say, Motor Breath, top tune. I'm going to leave it there because it's Jesus Christ, near half an hour. Anyway, if you watch this, thank you very much, and hopefully we'll be back soon. And yeah, take it easy, all the best, bye, see you later.